twice, and then it okay, I think I'm going live here, and I think it's live. I think I got this all set up correctly. So let me select my stream here twice. All right, now I need to I think I did it. Yeah, it's going live. I got it. So yeah, I'll just wait for some people to get in here. Looks like the internet's doing good right now. My camera looks like it's a little darker than normal. Not sure why. So I'm just gonna wait for some people to show up. I'm just gonna kind of relax a little bit. It's been a busy day and yeah, kind of a busy day, I guess. So yeah, we're just gonna talk about cars or anything, and I got a whole list of stuff to talk about. So I do notice that if you're gonna do a live feed, you need to have something to talk about, or you need to like to talk at least. Which, hey Michelle, how you doing? You're the first one. Am I coming in? Just wait, we need to get I forgot to do one thing. I gotta put the microphone on. I can't find it. Here it is. We need to have a microphone on, so in case I want to walk around. So hopefully this doesn't screw anything up. Right now it's going off the laptop. All right, can you guys still hear me? All right, let me know if the audio stays on, because I got the external microphone on now. Forgot to do that. I used this thing, and there's two of them in case this one dies. I can pop this one on there, but I better plug it in because I never charged it up from the last time. So yeah, I'm just waiting for some people. I see there's 4 people, so I guess I could start talking. So my last live feed got copyrighted, which means I can't monetize it because I played the song on my my system. It was I Want to Be a Rock Star. Yeah, that song. Yeah, so this microphone's got noise canceling in it. So yeah, I got a bunch of pictures to show. I could talk about the work that we did this week, and I got an interesting story. Napa called me today. Hey, Leisure. Glad you could make it. How's the weather in Connecticut? She's a little warm today. It's well, I guess it's not too warm, not compared to the last time, but it's in like 82, I think. So I got the air on in the shop. Doors are closed. Yeah, I got some interesting. We got a bunch to talk about tonight. I'm just gonna start out slowly with just stuff to talk about. And Napa called me today, and I just ordered some valve stems. I thought they were going to tell me, yeah, I didn't order enough for them to drive over here, but she said she was going to drive over here, which they never did. But the lady, she just got hired. She's not the boss or anything, but she said that I'm a high volume customer, and that they're going to hold my oil prices until Saturday. So I got until Saturday to stock up on oil, and then she didn't tell me how high it was going to go or anything, but she did say that it's going to fluctuate. But they're going to hold my prices until Saturday, and I can stock up. I already ordered 3 5-quart bottles of 020, 520, and 530, and I'm planning to order 3 more of each tomorrow. So my price for that oil is like $20.49 for 5 quarts. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure my TV volume was off. Rob, hey Rob, how's the weather in Pennsylvania? How's the garden going? Yeah, they just informed me that oil prices are going up. Napa called me today just to tell me. And not that I not so leisure 60 and sunny. That's a little on the cool side, but probably good working weather. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Rob. Get invited to a appreciation breakfast.
O'Reilly's breakfast.
O'Reilly's has a breakfast.
No. So since you're a high volume customer, you said.
Yeah, they called me a high volume customer today. I was like impressed. Yeah, leisure. If you're gonna change your oil, you better go get some. They told me it's going up. I see all the other stores have raised their price quite a bit. It's like $5 to $10 for a 5 quart. Yeah, I think you can get my email. If you go to Google and type in Custom Car LLC, and you'll obviously, since you're in Pennsylvania, you'll have to type in Grand Meadow, Minnesota, and I think my email, you can email me there. Yeah. So I don't know if you got my phone number off my. I have my oil change sticker up here. I thought. Well, I guess yeah. My phone number's public, so it's 507-251-3507. You can text me here. I don't want to put it in the comments. I'll see if I can find my oil change sticker. I know I had that up here. I don't. Oh, it's on my website. So you go to my website to custom car, Pete01507, then go to custom car page. My phone number's there. It's on the oil change sticker, and then you can text me that picture. But yeah, I'll keep it private. But yeah, I know I seen the pictures that you had on Jeffro's live feed. I thought that was amazing. And we might all have to start growing our own gardens. What do you think, Cody?
Yeah, I got tomatoes planted.
Yeah, Cody's got some tomatoes planted.
Peppers and onions.
Peppers and onions. I know I can grow tomatoes. Yeah, no, I get all my oil at Napa. They treat me right on the oil, and it's made by Valvoline. I did have a guy call me, another rep from another store, saying that Napa's oil is recycled oil, but I looked it up and it's not. He said it looked a little darker, but it seems to be just as clear as any other oil have ever used. So I don't think Napa's oil is recycled. I think the guy was just trying to sell me his oil so I'd buy it, because he's like, that's a crazy price you're paying for that oil. It's so cheap. I can't sell mine that cheap. And I'm like, well, then I can't buy it. Rob says weather has been a little chilly today with a good breeze. Been pretty hot, but no need for AC. I've had the AC on the last like 3 days. And then I got my where it drips into my water barrel. I showed you guys that. Valvoline, yeah. I don't think Valvoline's as bad as Pennzoil. I mean, at least like Pennzoil used to be that. It used to be wax or petroleum based oil where it had wax in it, and like the 1040, you could look down on the bottom of the jugs and see little chunks of rubber. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that was the Valvoline. So Valvoline, you could see the chunks of rubber in the bottom, and then Pennzoil was wax based, which carboned up your engine. Oh, if somebody's texting me. Oh, this is Rob. Okay. Yeah, it looks like they're sprouting up pretty good there. A nice flower pots. Yeah, that's cool. And you got a nice fence, nice yard. Yeah, I suppose you're so excited you'd want to eat some of that right away. I'll show Michelle these later, but yeah, that's cool. Oh, now I'm saving your number, and I got a picture of you. Yeah, so that's cool that you do that, Rob. me and Michelle need to get doing that more, and my brother does it. So I know a few years ago I did grow some tomatoes, and what I did is I went to Burger King and I took the tomato seeds right out of my Whopper because them are big tomatoes. They're big red tomatoes, and they grew. I put them in a pot, watered them every day, and they grew to be big tomatoes. Man, my comments are going crazy. Valvoline, yeah. Leisure says Valvoline for Valvoline. It isn't. Napa oil is not the exact same as the Valvoline, but it's made by Valvoline, which is gosh, Ashland. Ashland makes Valvoline. Yeah, Michelle is in the motorhome, and she just got there, so the windows were. We didn't stay in the motorhome last night. We usually stay in there to prevent catalytic converter theft, but last night we're in Spring Valley. Oh yeah, so I got the ride to Harley to Spring Valley, and then I roll it back here. So got 25 miles on the Harley now. It ran pretty good. Rob says, LOL, sure had no worries, and the stream was cleared right up tonight. Yeah, so far my internet's working. I'm expecting it to drop out at some point because it seems to do that. So yeah, I got the mailman's card on, so I can show you some pictures and then we can go look at it. It's still here, but it's all done. I just finished it up. Just finished up the bill, and he's not going to be happy about the bill, but maybe he can make payments or something. So here's one picture with me. I already got the condenser in there and the radiator. They're kind of in disarray. So let me see where the other picture is. It's probably at the bottom because that's where I put them in, and I didn't move them up yet. So sorry, this is taking me just a little bit, but I have a picture in here of when I don't have any finished pictures, but that's like in the middle of it. Oh, right here, frame pull. So I pulled that out with my Ranger. So I put my Ranger outside the shop, so it's on the asphalt, which is a little more grippy. And it pulled it out a little bit, but then it was sliding the whole Ranger back. I got a winch on there, and I got a remote control, so I was able to stand here and watch what I was doing. And then I let the cable loose again and put some blocks on the wheels on the Ranger. And then it pulled it more, and I just used the pry bar a little bit. It pulled it to where I thought it should be. I didn't measure anything. I just pulled it so it looked straight. But yeah, we could go look at it. It's right over here. And this is the finished product. It's not pretty, but he doesn't need it pretty. He runs in the mailboxes and everything with this thing. But down here, so there's the damaged parts. Okay, yeah, I gotta switch it. I gotta switch my camera, so just hold on. All right, here we go. So here's all the parts. There's the radiator, condenser, and then that's the condenser fan, I think is what they called it, and it's all broken. And there we go. It's all back together, 100% mechanical, no check engine light. The hood is sticking up a little bit on this side, but it's okay. This car ain't gonna last much longer. Headlights in there solid. I saved the headlight. And I do have to tell you, I did put some drywall screws in that thing. So yeah, we just got to let them know it's done. And after the live feed, I'll have Michelle come in here and she can let them know that it's done. Yeah, Michelle, you want to come in here and his bill's all done, and you can send him a text so he can come and get it. He might need it tomorrow. Maybe he wants to drive it. I know he likes that car. I got the air conditioning working, everything. Yeah, the old Ranger, that worked pretty good. So I did that yesterday, and then today I had the radiator and everything in there yesterday, and then today I did all like hooking everything up, getting the bumper cover on there. Yeah, that I was a little bit intimidated, like if I was going to get that done or not. But I got them, the radiator and everything is in there perfectly. Still over here on the passenger side, that fender's just a little bit bent up there. Yeah, he runs into mailboxes, and who knows what else is going to happen. He didn't want to spend much money. He did say that after I got done, he would might take it to a body shop. But here comes Michelle, so she's gonna let him know that it's ready. Here's the phone. Don't say the price, okay? So
Okay.
don't make the price public, but it's right here. Yeah, it's gonna be a little more than he wanted to spend, but that's okay. I'll work with him. He can make me a payment every month. I told him he should get on a payment plan with me anyways, because
So you want me to just tell him your car is fixed?
yeah, it's ready to go, and then tell him how much it is.
I thought you told him.
Okay, just don't tell him how much it is. Just tell him it's ready. And then if you would you drive that out front? So I'm gonna have Michelle move it out there because I'm sure he's coming. And then I'll have to tell him like, yeah, we're doing a live feed, so we don't want to disclose any information that shouldn't be.
Yeah, but what if
What?
he asks? He always wants to
Well,
get.
I'll just write it on a piece of paper. Yeah. So
the keys in
yeah.
it?
Yep. Keys are in it. So Rob says my buddy's truck needed a rear wheel bearing and some diff work happened at the same time. Yeah, so I run into that all the time. Yeah, he texted back, thanks. So that happens all the time. I get customers that I'll go out to drive their car because they said they heard a new noise. But it's so bad I can't go over like 10 or 20 miles an hour. I'm afraid to drive it because it's so bad. So yeah, I'm really happy that I was able to get that car back on the road. I think you guys all. Hey JD. Okay, yeah, I could do that. I could just mute it for a little bit. I'll just let Michelle handle it. He didn't say he's coming up. He just said thanks. But right about this time, sometimes he's getting done with his route. He's using his older CRV right now. So yeah, I got that done. In and out in what 2 days? Maybe 3. In and out in 3 days. So that's not bad. And then I done a whole bunch of work this week. I'm just looking at some invoices here. All right, let me get back to this page. So just the other day, I got to work on this. So yeah, he stopped in and said it overheated on him. He wanted to know if I could check it out, and then get the oil changed. So I'm like, who's paying the bill? Do I gotta fill out any forms and stuff like that? And he said that he has a card that he uses, and he's responsible for the maintenance. So he did say, I can't tell you the limit, but he did say he had a limit on the card, and it was pretty high. I found a couple other things wrong on the car. It needs a new radiator, and I got the job. He's gonna come back here to get the radiator done, and I'm putting in a Mopar radiator. So I got the job. They're not taking it back to the dealer shop. They just put the radiator in it.
You know who it is.
What is it?
He knows who that is.
So he just confirmed the appointment today. It's going to come in on Monday. I'm going to pop a radiator in there and get him back on the job because I don't want him wasting my tax money. But yeah, that's pretty interesting that I just, first time I ever had a state trooper or state patrol car come in. So JD says, I have to do the time belt related things on a pilot this weekend. Was supposed to do that last weekend, but didn't happen. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. I helped do one once when I was at the other shop I worked at, but I'd never done one myself. But I don't think they're too bad. I guess it probably depends on what year it is too. So yeah, it was busy, and most of the day today I worked at, I did work on an F-250, a 2025 that only had 31,000 miles on it. So Rob says, oh, Leisure says he likes that red color. Yeah, that's the Minnesota State Patrol colors. Rob says we used to get a lot of cop cars and some three-letter agencies from time to time. We were a trusted dealership for sure. So yeah, the word's spreading that I do good work and that they're gonna get their car fixed correctly. And he was really happy. So he just thought he would stop in because he heard good stuff, and he wanted to know why his patrol car was overheated. So I did not know, like, that car has a 3.6 Pentastar in it. That's really weird. Like, you think a Dodge Charger would have the V8. It's got the same motor they use in everything. And I did check the oil cooler. It's fine. Yep. So JD says, no, they aren't too bad on a hand foams. Yeah. It's on a 2012 Pilot. Yeah, I know, like the 3.6 Chevy time and chains, they suck. And the 5.4 Fords and the 3.6 Pentastars. I do not like doing any of those. I actually send all those to a different shop. I don't have time. I got too much gravy work here to do than to waste my time on one of those struggling time and chain jobs. So yeah, we're gonna, hopefully Benny shows up, and then we can have his root beer. He brought us, so Benny was one of the guys that was commenting on one of the live feeds, and he stopped in the other day. Actually, he's been here twice. And he brought me some root beer to try. So I'm waiting for him to come on the live feed, because I told him, I said, when you come on the live feed, we're gonna drink the root beer you got us. And this is from Spring Grove. Let me make the picture really big. Spring Grove, Minnesota. Yeah, looks like you gotta read it backwards. But I did not know that. So if Benny comes on, we're gonna have some root beer. Yep. I told him, I said they're known for the oil cooler to start leaking. I don't know if the oil cooler could leak coolant though. I've never had one leak coolant, I don't think. But I told them they're known for that. They're known for head gasket issues, the rocker arm issues, and the radiators. The radiators are always bad. I think it's because of the Mopar antifreeze that they put in there from the factory. Well, of course, all organic acid technology antifreeze is bad. That's why the intake gaskets go out of all the Chevys, because that's what Dexcool is. JD says we work on police cars also. They are all Fords now, mostly the Explorers. That's cool. I just love working on, the I guess police cars, I guess. But it's a big responsibility. You got to make sure you do everything right. They go out there and they risk their lives in them cars going so fast. I don't think they should go that fast, but they do. You have to make sure everything is perfect when you work on one of those, especially if they're going on a call to save somebody's life and you screw up and don't do something right and they can't make it. That would be awful. So you got to earn your trust to work on these things. And I guess I've been doing it for the last, I've worked on them 30 years ago. So I just try to be a little smarter, a little better about it now, and make sure everything is perfect. And we put all OE parts on them, even when we do oil changes. So yeah, I put a Mopar filter on the Dodge Charger State Patrol car. ordered it in because I didn't have one. Yeah, that's. I hope the oil doesn't go up too high. They scared me because they've been saying it online, but my prices have all stayed down low. And actually, a synthetic blend oil is even cheaper than today than when I bought it a week ago. You guys must have skipped out. I must have missed a comment, but JD says, "Yup, the Leisure, not a bad engine. List a mile long of issues." Yeah, I think if you maintain it, do your oil changes, do your regular maintenance, if you do all that stuff, I think any engine will last a long time. But when you start letting coolant leaks go, you're going 10,000 miles on an oil change. That's not good. So Rob says, "Yep, it means a lot." Yeah, it means a lot to me that they come here. Absolutely. I think every time one of those cars came through, we always triple check stuff, spent a little extra time because it was worth it. Yeah, you have to. You just have to. Those are emergency vehicles, and if they're out there and something happens and it's your fault, that'd be awful. So I'd never want that to happen to me. I want to make sure everything's perfect. And I don't do tires, so I don't have to worry about that. But like, I'll triple check the lug nuts if I have the wheels off. So yeah, you wanna make sure when you're working on an emergency service vehicle that you do it correctly. So we've done really good on that. I do have a comeback coming tomorrow for that 2007 Ford Taurus. I fixed the fuel filter. He's coming back. He's not happy with my repair. So the car's worth I'm not going to say a number, but it's not worth anything. He broke the fuel line connectors on the fuel filter. Okay, he broke them. I don't have the special tools to replace those lines, and you would have to order all that stuff or replace the whole lines. So he's bringing it in tomorrow. I'm going to see what I could do. If there's something different I can do. So what I did was half the connector was broke off. So I put the clip in and I put a zip tie around it. It seemed good to me, but he's worried those zip ties may fail. So I told him, I said, bring it back in. What I'll do is we'll get a quote on how to fix it correctly, which he's not going to do. It's going to be quite a bit of money. But what I'll do is I'll put some Tesa tape on them, and then I'll put some aluminum foil tape over that. And that should protect the zip tie from failing. Which the zip tie is nylon, so is the lines, and so is the clip. They're nylon. Yeah, so I looked up that tool. I've used that tool before at the other shop I was at. I just know I can't put that new connector onto the old line. I've tried it. I always fail. So you need that special tool. So Leisure says boil water. We could try that. The only thing I did notice, like, I'm gonna have to cut his old one off, and the line is too short. And I even tried to like pull the line, the steel line, because it's connected to a steel line. I even tried to pull that so I got more slack, but it just was not. It was tight. I couldn't move it. And I don't want to put a compression fitting on it. But he's coming in tomorrow. We're going to see if we can fix it up just a little bit better. I'm going to give him a quote to either replace the lines or get that tool and put the new fittings on and some new nylon plastic line. So yeah, I think boiling water. Maybe I'll try that if I'm brave enough. That might work. But I've been experimenting with it over the years, and I always fail. So I knew if I cut that connector off there, I was going to be in trouble. But there was enough of the connector left. If I just zip tied the clip in there, which I thought was good enough, but he's made me double think about it now, and he wants me to redo it a little bit. So I told him to come in tomorrow, and it's a pretty busy day tomorrow. Let me see what's going on tomorrow. So I got a thermostat on a Pentastar. It's a Chrysler Dodge minivan. No big deal. That takes like an hour, maybe a little longer after you test drive it. Make sure it's full. Got an oil change coming in. Rear brake. Oh, I got 2 comebacks tomorrow. the rear brake rotors on this Buick I turned them, and they're warped bad now. I know they weren't too thin. I measured them, so I don't know what happened. But I ordered new rotors. I haven't ordered the rotors yet because I can't remember if they're vented or slotted. There's two options, so I gotta wait till she gets here, and then I'm gonna give her back the money for the turning of the rotors, and I'm not gonna charge her any labor. She's just gonna pay me for the new rotors. That's it, and I'm gonna get her in and out. So maybe something else happened, but I'll check into it. I did look at the brakes when she was here, and when I test drove it, they were like brand new. Yeah, I put new clips in it, but the problem was half of the where it goes on there, the clip slides in, half of the connector was broke off on one side. So that's why I thought, just putting a zip tie around it will hold that clip in there so it can't pull off, and then it would be good. And I can't, unless the zip tie breaks, it's fine. But sometimes the zip ties break. They just do. Yeah, I keep a whole selection of those clips here because I don't break them, but other people do. I even had a guy working for me that broke them. I'm like, some of them you just push inward instead of pull the clip out. And I think that's what these are. You push them inward, it releases it. You don't even have to take the clip out. Yeah, I still do turn a few rotors. This is my first bad experience, though. Well, I don't even know if it's a bad experience, but it's the first time I had one come back. But some of the rotors are getting expensive, and now with this war not ending, I think it's going to get more. So I'm a little bit upset about that. That should have been a 3-day war, to be honest with you. Yeah, so we're just kind of chilling out here. Just got done working. I got a lot more stuff. So yeah, my last live feed, the one we had in portrait style, it got copyrighted for that song I played, a rock star song. And I don't think I'm gonna fix it. I'm just gonna leave it. I have to mute out that part where I turned the radio up. So a little disappointed, but it is what it is. I didn't know I was gonna get copyrighted because you can play songs on short videos, and we were in the short format on the short feed, so I don't know why it got copyrighted. Rob says GM rotors are tough. They are machines, so that you usually don't have enough meat on them to grind them down. Yeah, so far, I mean, the rotors I've done, I measure them after they're done, and they always have enough left. There was one the other day that was right on maybe that was this car. It was right at the minimum spec. I did turn the rotors on the police car once, or they're still on there. They're fine. The front rotors, yeah, they were quite expensive, and we turned them. I measured them when they were plenty thick. They had Brembo brakes, so they're big and thick. Yeah, I looked at the rotors on that Dodge Charger Pursuit in the front. They're huge. They're just like the ones on the Tahoe. JD said, I had a feeling that was going to happen. Can only play a few seconds with a song. Yeah. But that's only if you do a regular video on the long format. The short videos, you could play whatever song you want. They won't copyright you. So I thought that I was allowed to do that because we're in the portrait, like short video style. Rob said we had a guy, so he lived at the bottom of a giant hill. He must have rode the brakes hard and just never slowed and never slowly moved down. Never slowly moved to not warp the spots. Never moved too slowly to that. Yeah. If your brake rotor gets hot, and then you come to a stop and you have a lot of pressure on the pedal, you could warp your rotors. The police didn't put a lot of stress on the brakes sitting in the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot. No, we call him the kid cop, and he races this thing around. Michelle caught him the other day. Well, yeah, so Michelle said that when he was, I don't know if I should say this or not, that they could put me in jail. I don't care. But she said that she commented about him going by the other day so fast, and he said, "Well, I got a call, and I thought it was an emergency. What if it was somebody's baby? I think he did a what if." And then Michelle said, "Well, you came back in 1 minute, so you didn't save no baby in that amount of time." But yeah, he ripped the motor mount out of it. So he takes off hard and he brakes hard. Oh, the brakes are getting down there a little bit. Oh, that would be. They'd probably handcuff me if I did that. Rob says you should leave a pack of donuts on the seat for him. So our chief just retired the other day. We went to this little retirement thing uptown. He spent 31 years on the force here. I don't know if you call that a force, but he was chief for 31 years. He always treated me nice and never had any problems with him, me personally. Yeah, I don't think I would do that. I don't think they would like it. It's funny though. Michelle would do that for sure. Now you gave her an idea. I will just put Michelle up here. Where is she? I got over 100 pictures on here now. So Michelle's picture has moved away. There she is. So we'll just put Michelle on there for a minute. So Michelle, what do you think? You're gonna get some donuts and put them on the seat? Are you on there?
You're just behind. You're like a long way behind.
I might take Leisure's advice and get a donut machine and make them fresh. Yeah, that would be cool. We should do that. So we'll have some vending machine, fresh donuts and ice cream and coffee. Perfect. And then we'll section off the shop so the customers have to go in there. And then they'll give you business and me business at the same time. I'm just taking a break a minute. Here's Michelle driving the motorhome. I was talking about her, so I thought I should put her on. And this picture is not the right format to fit on the screen, but it's bigger than probably when we're doing portrait. Haha, I'll make sure to warp them up. I'll wrap them up in pretty wrapping paper. Yeah, so Michelle just helps me out on the live feeds now just by commenting. So if I screw something up, she'll put a comment in there saying I did. But she did get the mailman's car out and notified him that's ready to be picked up. So he'll probably come tomorrow. Yeah, she does go like 3/4 throttle. She was going almost as fast as it go. A local guy's super fan at the dealership. I stopped for a tag light out. He's like, I can just let you go and have to write a fix it. And I still had to work on my own. Still had my work coat on, yep. So we did have when I first started, we did have a lady get pulled over, and it was her third time for a license plate light. And they seen my door was open, and the officer said, if you go over there and he fixes your light, I won't give you a ticket. So she did, and I fixed her light, and she didn't get a ticket. I'll put something else up on here. So here's that red Chevy is a 2010 with 51,000 miles on it. I fixed that. I don't know, what was it on Monday or Tuesday? Tuesday. And then the same day, we had this Chevy come in for an oil change. It's a 2016 with only 25,000 miles on it. And I done for sure the last oil change, maybe with the one before that. Oh yeah, so here's the John Deere lawnmower wires. I told you I was going to show you this. That lawnmower fought me, and I finally figured out what this is. These wires. So when you turn, this is the belt that runs the mower blades, and then I have it away right now, but it was rubbing on there. So when you start up the mower deck, that would cause the lawnmower to pop and bang. I was so happy. So me and Michelle worked on Memorial Day, and this is one of the ones that we got done. We got all caught up. And then on Tuesday, there was actually, until the mailman showed up, there was no customer cars in the lot at Tuesday night. It was a great feeling, I'll tell you that. We're fully caught up. I'm caught up right now. I think, yeah. Pretty sure. Yep, I'm caught up now. That's why there's no cars in here. And everybody's waiting to bring me the car until the morning. So sometimes people bring me the cars the night before. But so far, no, or else I'd move them in. And the Chevy Cruze, the Chevy Cruze diesel that was a no crank, no start. Here's them CAN bus wires, and they're right on the bottom of the car. That little lightly gray shaded piece there is the control arm. And this is the frame, and that's the engine oil pan on the top of the picture. But these wires run to the power steering control module and the steering angle sensor. And this caused the car to be a no crank, no start. And I just wanted to say that instead of using heat shrink connectors, I soldered these wires and I used heat shrink. And then I wire loomed them all back up in there. You can't even tell I did it. Although this harness is replaceable. I don't know if I told him that though, because I don't think the car's going to last much longer. And he obviously lives on a farm. So it's probably just going to happen again. So this is another car that we fixed on Memorial Day. We figured it out. And then I finished it up on Tuesday morning. So glad to get these stragglers out of the shop. It was such a great feeling. Yeah, Michelle said she was going 75 miles an hour in that pickup. Well, no, she was going like 40 because we're on a side road. Don't jinx. The tow truck could drop it off, LOL. That was never fun with unexpected drop box keys. Yeah, we have a drop box. We don't have a pickup box though, where they can put a code in and pick up their keys. But we're here 8 to 8, so I'm always here, and then I'm here even later, so all the time, every time. Once in a while though, I will quit early and do something else. Michelle says, I'm just gonna start making you lift up all the vehicles. Yeah, I could have found that right away if we did a visual inspection and I lifted it up. I just didn't think I have to lift it up after I found the starter was good, because I jumped the starter with a screwdriver. After I found that out, I was like, I don't think I have to lift it up, and I didn't. And that probably burned me a little bit. I probably should have just lifted it up, because I didn't. If he would have told me he lived out on a farm place, I would have looked for, I guess, I don't think I would have. I had to figure this out with the computer, with the scan tool. That was the only way. And I noticed, and Michelle helped me notice this, that there's too many modules offline, and the power steering one is one of the first ones in line. I'm just not as good with CAN bus stuff as some of the other guys, but I'm learning. So yeah, we got that done. Got everything done. I could put Daisy up here. So our dog Daisy, she's in the shop. This was last year. So I got a JD. I'll put myself back on. I got a launch. First, I'll show you this one. I bought this one to do like key programming. It's a Xtool. Can't remember what model this is. It's a D7W, so it's a cheap one, but it can do keys, programming keys and stuff. So that's why I bought this one, and it's pretty good, although it failed today. But and it does full diagnostic, and it's got all the updates still. It's still getting updated, and I'll go get my other one. So I only mainly use this one for keys. And then I bought this scanner in 2021, and it's a launch. This is just a telephone, old style telephone cord I put on here because I always, sometimes if I didn't have that, I'd forget the VCI in the car. But it's an X431 Pro. Where does it say? Yeah, it's an X431 Pro 3S Plus version 2.0. But I ran out of updates on this, so this goes up to 2023. But I got to get a new one, and I was thinking of getting the Moocar next because it's got some AI stuff on there. But I noticed today when I was using my X tool, it's got AI on it, so I didn't get into it to see how it worked. But yeah, this is my launch. Yep, I did. I just scanned that Honda to make sure there was no codes. Actually, I caused a code because I started it up with the fans unplugged. Yep, the launch has topology on it. So yeah, I got a screenshot of that. So on the Chevy Cruze, is this it? Yeah, so here's the Chevy Cruze. Power steering control module, not communicating, ECM, all these modules. And then it went to this one, but I forgot to put the relay back in because I was messing with it. And I popped that relay back in, and then the other ones came back online. And then it started right up. So Benny's here. All right, good, because we got the root beer. And Michelle should probably come out so we could try it. But Benny says, my John Deere lawnmower would not start 3 days. Battery was strong, but would not turn over. Found the wiring harness, headlights melted on the exhaust, so shorted out the system. Well, I hope you were able to just fix the wires and not have any other damage. The old, yeah, the RJ, it's an RJ11, but I think this might be the receiver, the headset cord. Not sure, because I cut the ends off, so I don't know how many wires are on it. But I think it had the really small, like, receiver, the headset receiver plugs on it. And I need a couple more of those cords, and I cannot find. Yeah, here's the cord. I cannot find any more of these cords. I got them somewhere. I don't know where they are. And I still haven't got the haircut. I think Michelle's getting that root beer. Yeah, we've been waiting for you, Benny.
Yay, Benny's here.
So Benny, a couple of live streams ago, we were talking about root beer, and he said that we got to get the Spring Grove Soda Pop root beer, and it's made in Spring Grove, Minnesota. Yeah, I'm not even putting it on the screen. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, crack her open. Let's go. I'm waiting.
It smells good.
Whoa, it should. Came from Benny. Can I try it?
It's good.
He's not gonna let me try it.
So it's really smooth. Got a little bite to it.
Oh, that is really good.
But it's not, A&W is a different smoothness. It's not like A&W.
It's not too sweet.
It's
and
not like the Barks.
Yeah.
Rob says I still have my crimpers for the cable ends. Yeah, I got a crimper and I got a whole bunch of RJ11 ends because I'm gonna use them on my my magnet controller I'm building for the actual what is that line? So that line is for the button. The button's got a light on it, and it's a momentary button to drop the steel and lift up the steel. Yeah, Cody's trying a little bit of the.
Yeah, we got Pete's brothers here.
So Benny, Cody just said they make orange too. I think you said that too, right? So yeah, So where do we got to pick this stuff up at?
He said at in Spring Valley at the grocery store, I think.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'll go buy some tomorrow.
Michelle's gonna pick up some tomorrow. But we're just wait. We should have picked up some anyways, but we were just waiting for you.
Well, he brought us those two
Yeah,
bottles.
yeah. He seemed he was on the live feed and we were talking about root beer and he suggested this, and then it was just a few days later he stopped by and he brought me two of these bottles. Thanks, Benny. That's awesome.
So we kept those two bottles.
And Benny builds these hot rods, and the other day he brought one of his hot rods over, so that was cool too. He's been here twice since that live feed. He brought me root beer, and then he brought his hot rod over to show me it again. Yeah, you got to give Michelle a ride. I don't know how many he's got. He's got a couple of them, 3, 4 of them. He builds them all himself, and they're daily drive. They're built to be daily drivers. They're not like car show things. Hey, Josh, where are you from? Nice to have you on the live feed. Yeah, so Benny. Yeah, Benny, you got to give Michelle a ride in one of those cars.
Oh yeah. It's. I'm on for that date. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
Yep, and there was other ones too. So he says like Goose Island, IBC, Hardware Hank. Yeah. So does the Hardware Hank there in Spring Valley do they have it?
That's Ace.
They're Ace now.
No, there's a Hardware Hank out on.
Oh, out on the outskirts of town.
Yeah.
Outside.
Other than that, I don't know where I could find. Oh, maybe there's one in Sturtville. Yeah, it's really smooth, really good. So yeah, let me
Josh has just come on.
Well, yeah,
Said hi.
I did say hi.
Oh.
Let me put here we go. Here's another picture of this root beer that Benny brought us. That's so nice of him. So Benny brings me a few things here and there, some miscellaneous stuff or something somebody else can't figure out, and I try to help Benny out. So, and he's a really cool guy, and I think we become friends a little bit, and I'm so glad that he'll comment on a couple of my videos here and there. It's pretty awesome, man. He says he likes to watch YouTube, so that's great because I like to put videos on YouTube. I don't do TikTok. I have put videos on TikTok, but I don't like it. So yeah, thanks Benny for coming. That root beer is pretty good. Michelle's gonna go get some more tomorrow. So Rob says next time I get brewing my cream ale, I'll send you some water samples. So Rob, do you make your own root beer? Benny's gonna bring the 1950 Chevy over tomorrow for you, Michelle.
Okay, it's a date.
I think Benny likes to drive those. They're so awesome, and they got power. I have a video of him giving me a ride in that 50 Chevy. He's like, "You drive it." I'm like, No, I don't know your vehicle good enough to drive it, and it costs more than what I can afford. Cream ale. I don't know how we. So that's interesting, Rob. You're into all this stuff where you are growing your own garden, and now you're telling me you got some cream ale. Yeah, maybe I could get a video of you and Michelle leaving the shop or something. That'd be cool.
Okay. Oh.
So Rob says he has a brewing setup. Long story short, I also work on I also won a $3K brewing kettle when my wife was in labor. Got the email, thought it was a joke. I've been brewing beer for 15 plus. So you do some beer, like regular
Well, yeah,
homemade.
he's gonna send us some water samples.
I don't know what a water sample is.
He can't send us beer, but he can send us water.
Oh.
Technically.
Wink, wink.
Well, if we ever
Wink, wink,
get
yeah.
out to Connecticut, we should stop in Pennsylvania and visit Rob too.
Oh, for sure.
Benny says small print on the label says
Yeah.
Magnet
Oh, I'm not.
Takey. Magnet Takey. That's Norwegian for many thanks. Yeah, I think Benny could do his own YouTube channel with his all the stuff he does on them hot rods, and he builds them himself.
I'm just saying, I can hear him where he's talking, but it's like, wait.
Yeah. Michelle gets that stuff. I don't. I'm a little slower. Sometimes you got to spell it right out for me.
I'm not getting any messages. I think it's just because.
Mm.
Well, look, I'm
Yeah,
still
so the
over here
mailman
where
never
Benny
said he's
says
going to come
it's
pick up his
taking
car,
off.
so probably don't have to worry about that right now.
You again.
He'll come tomorrow.
When
He'll probably
Wi-Fi
switch out the
said I don't have
cars.
service in here.
He'll show up at 9 o'clock and say, I'm grabbing the other car. No, he's driving the older one now, and he waved at me today, and Michelle said she's seen him on the route. He needs to drive the older one and use that one up. And then he's got a Mercury Grand Marquis that he's getting ready to go for mail too. I don't know how that's going to work, but yeah. So I was talking to Rob about
There we
this
go.
at
No, yeah. No
at
worries.
Jeffros,
Did you try that?
a live feed, and Rob's like
Oh,
he needs to stay busy all the time, just like me. I gotta be doing something.
I gave you both.
So
We don't eat out of
Rob's
the
got
bag,
all
just
this stuff he
bucket full
does
over there,
at home, and he's got a job. He works.
but these are.
So yeah, you got.
you know,
I think that will benefit us later on in life, because when we retire, we won't be sitting around. Yep. So yeah, she is pretty darn sharp.
Oh, thank you, Leisure.
She said thanks. She helps out. We checked all the lights on the mailman's car, so she helps check the lights. The other day on the Chevy Cruze, I put her up on the hoist and had her turning the key on and off a bunch of times, and she helped me push it in, and she helps me with getting my slips put into the computer. She helps me with the customers. So, and the customers, I think, are starting to like to talk to her better than me. So, but that's a good thing. I gotta fix the cars. So, Leisure, is there any? Do you know of any drinks you can make with? Yeah, I guess I think I did say this with root beer. Like, I guess there's a root beer barrel, but like a mixed drink. Can you make a mixed drink with root beer? Rob says, let's be real. She is really the boss. Yeah, that's for sure. I don't get away with anything. Yeah, she's pretty easy to get along with. I'm lucky on that part. So let me put my... Well, not that one. This one. So yeah. Michelle says, I towed the car with the fuel line. Yeah. She towed me with the Ranger and pulled me all the way to the shop the other day. Because I tried to fix that car in his driveway, but I seen the thing was broken. It was missing a couple of O-rings in one of those connectors too, which I did buy a new connector. I have a new one here, but I can't put it onto that plastic line. I know I can't. Maybe I'll try what Leisure says is some boiling water. And I do have some little clamps, like CV axle boot clamps, but very small for that style line. So Leisure says Jagger and root beer. Okay. Michelle will know more about that. Jagger. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, you're Meister.
Oh, Jägermeister, yeah. Michelle has some of that, so we could try it. I don't know. I smelled that Jägermeister, and I don't want to. I don't want to drink any. Let- I'll be right back. So I have a whole bunch of these clamps that I could put on there. You know what? I just came up with an idea. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put the new connectors on there, cut off the nylon line, and I'll use some of these clamps with some fuel injection hose. That ought to work. What do you guys think? JD, got opinion on that? Anisette might work. Yep, I think I just came up with the solution. I better make sure I got some 5/16 fuel injection line. If not, I'll order some in the morning. I'll cut all that plastic line off there, and then I'll just hose clamp some fuel injection line on there. And I don't really think I can charge them because I already charged them to fix it once. Maybe a little bit for some of the new parts. Michelle says Jägermeister, I love it. It would probably put Pete on his ass though. Talking about drinks, Pete. Should be for, yeah. So Rob's giving me his opinion. I should have asked him. Should be sufficient as long as it doesn't crimp the hose and get leaks. You're good to go. Yeah, I could put some regular hose clamps on it, but I kind of like using these. They're a little bit more permanent. My Harley had one of these on there, and I put one back on. And I like using these, like if my airline, I have to put a new fitting on my airline. That way, when I'm pulling my airline around it, these don't come loose. Plus, I don't cut my fingers. And I got the pliers to grip them. Yeah, create leaks. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I understood what you're saying. I just that's what I'm gonna do. I don't think the car's gonna make it through the summer, so it's not in good shape. It's not in good shape. I don't like to say bad things about people's cars, but it's probably the amount of rust on that car. It's probably unsafe to drive. I didn't look at it. I just was fixing the fuel leak is all I was doing. So I think that would be more. That would satisfy him if I did that. It'd probably be less liability on my end too if something did happen, and if one of those lines came off and started a fire, I'd probably be liable because I fixed it. Got another message. Oh, he is stopping in, so he's coming to pick up his mail car. So, all right, Michelle, the mailman's stopping by. You wanna catch him before he comes in and give him the skimmy? Oh, I think he's here right now. Yeah, our Impala's in bad shape. Rob said we used to give people we can fix it, but it might be time because could get far worse. Sleeches. Yeah, it's okay. We're talking about your car just as long as we don't give out any information that you don't want to have public.
All right.
But Michelle's going to come out here, and we're probably it costs a little bit of money.
Yeah, I figured it probably. Those plastics are so expensive.
Yeah, but it's all back mechanically sound. The bumper's not going to fall off, anything like that. I just pieced it all back together. I used your same headlight, pieced that back in there.
Oh yeah.
That other thing you showed me a picture of, it's like a echo chamber for the air filter setup.
Okay.
So I just left it.
Okay.
It'll be fine. And there's a hole in the bottom of it, so if it gets water in there, it's going to go out the bottom. But it's like I can't remember what they call it, but it's before the air filter. So where the fresh air comes in,
Yeah.
it's like an echo chamber. So that maybe one of these guys will know what that is, but that's what that was. It's not the vacuum reservoir.
Okay.
And the air conditioning, so I got the air conditioning all charged up for you.
Sure.
You need me to write it down?
Yeah, you can write it down.
The price?
Yeah. I'm gonna go show them and let them know.
Okay. Yeah, you can take it and always stop back tomorrow or whatever you want to do. Yeah, I took care of the mailman because I need to get my mail. Without the mailman, how am I going to get my mail? The postman always rings twice. Speeches, my goodness, the new update is crazy on my phone. I need to read it. You got an iPhone? My phone just got updated the other day. It's an Android. It gets an update at like every 2 weeks or a security patch every week or so. Yeah, I gotta find this. I got a notepad here just in case he wants to know that. I'll just print it off. Oh, what am I thinking? Michelle, I'll print that invoice off.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Okay. No. Yeah, I'm just gonna print off this invoice. Resonator, is that it's before the air cleaner, and it's just a big box down on the bottom of the bumper, behind the bumper, and it got the front of it's all shattered, but there's a drip hole in the bottom factory, so if it did get water in there, it leaks it out the bottom. Yeah, I don't know. I think he needs to get like a newer CRV. Hondas are pretty good. I couldn't recommend too many other cars. Yeah, it could be a resonator for the intake system. I did notice when I got on the car today on my test drive that I could hear the induction system just a little bit more than normal. Andy, you can use a caulk gun and a tube clamp. You're gonna have to explain that one to me, Andy, because that would be interesting to me. Leisure said I should boil some water and get it in some boiling water to soften it up. So a caulk gun and a tube clamp. What do you mean a tube clamp? Yeah, I know that the machine I used, it was a few years ago, but it clamped the line and it pressed the new fitting on. Yeah, so we're just drinking some root beer that Benny got us. He was watching a live feed from a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about root beer. And he made it a special occasion to go buy me some root beer that we were talking about, or he is talking about. Brake line flaring clamp. Oh. Well, that's interesting. The only problem I got with that, there's not enough slack in the line to, unless I'd use that on the other side, because like 12 inches from the fuel filter is where that plastic line's pressed onto a steel line. And it looks like it has just one bubble in the end of the line. Yeah, Leisure says the caulk gun is a good idea. I got a couple extra caulk guns. It's probably worth a try. I can't spend too much time on it though tomorrow. I got an oil change. Normally don't do oil changes on Fridays. But got oil change, a thermostat on a Pentastar Chrysler minivan, rear brake rotors on some kind of Buick. I can't remember what kind of Buick it was. And it's because I turned the rotors and now they're warped. JD says, and pour the boiling water over the line at the same time. Leisure says, I used to use water pump pliers and a flaring clamp. Yeah, so that's what Andy's saying. Where are you from, Andy? You work in a shop? Let us know what's going on with you. Rob says you see the new Icon G2 half-inch flex head at $85, getting a bit of steep price wise. Yeah, everything is going up. And Napa just called me today saying my oil's going to go up. They'll lock my prices in until Saturday, and then she'll be all over the place is what they told me. They told me it's going to fluctuate. They didn't tell me how much or how much it's going up. And I called the guy back because they didn't bring me my valve stems today. And he said, they didn't bring you your valve stems? And I'm like, yeah, I never got them. And then I asked him, like, how much is oil going up? And he's like, I don't know. But they told us to pull all our prices off of everything. Our flyers, our shelves, all the prices are coming off. Yeah, Leisure says $85 is better than $185 for sure. Yeah, we might have to crack open the other bottle. This is pretty good. Do you have a big reservoir or just do it by the jug? Oh, for the oil, no, I don't have any bulk oil. I have a guy that wants to get me a bulk oil setup, but he wants me to buy the oil from him, and I'll get my own bulk oil setup, and then I'll buy the oil from whoever I want. And we're starting to get a lot of oil changes because I'm cheaper than everybody else, and I do better, and I put on OE stuff sometimes if that's what they want. So JD said Napa already contacted them. Could go up 300%. That's not good. All right, I'm ordering more tomorrow. Yeah, so we just bought $300 of Kirkland oil. Not sure if that's good oil or not. I probably should buy some GM oil because I put some GM oil in some stuff. Why did you hang the key up?
Because I always hang the key up. So you know what it is.
All right, thank you, Pete.
Yep.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Yeah, he's excited to get that's his newer CRV. So he was very disappointed he hit that deer. But he's excited to get it back because he likes the car better. I think he's got remote pedals for the passenger side in that car. Because when I use the brake pedal, that whatever he clamped on there kind of scares me when I go to hit the brakes. I'm like, this don't feel like the brake pedal because I'm pushing on whatever he clamped onto the brake pedal. Now, Leisure says bulk oils are easy to set up. Stick a hand crank and pump in that 55-gallon drum. See, I gotta get some. I don't want to get 55-gallon drums. I want to get the clear drums or the white ones so I can see the oil level inside. Rob says Project Farm Guy did a big oil review, worth watching for some learning. Yeah, okay. Not sure who that guy is, but I'm gonna write it down. So I'm still waiting to see where Andy is from. You work in a shop, Andy, or do you run your own business? Leisure said, did Kid Cop give the deer a ticket? Yeah, I was just wondering if that's why he's here, but I heard he was here because he's friends with the tow truck driver. So, yeah, I don't think anybody got any tickets. Do people get tickets for hitting deer?
No.
No, we don't give tickets around here. I think you're supposed to report it, though. Like, if you hit a deer and your car's okay to drive away, you got to report that you hit that deer. Retired, so how old are you, Andy? It sounds like you got some experience. And then Rob says, very true, Leisure, then you don't need the hazmat containment zone. Why would I need a hazmat containment zone if I got a bulk setup? I just changed, or JD says, I just changed the oil in my car for that reason. Yeah, I guess my truck and my Jeep, probably the Impala, all need oil changes. I got until Saturday, and I see that on my parts tech, my other suppliers have raised up their prices already. Yeah, I still got a few years to go, Andy. I'm 53, and I just bought this shop just a year and a half ago. Maybe it's almost 2 years now. So I'm going to be here a while. I'll probably be retiring right here fixing cars. Of course, I like fixing cars now, depending on how big the reservoir is at you. I was thinking of getting some of the 30-gallon round drums and then put them up on the wall. Rob said we had giant drums at the dealership. Yeah, so I suppose, yeah, if one of those leaked out, that wouldn't be good for anybody. Annan was at Napa today. Which Napa? Did they have their oil prices raised up? Because they called me today and said they're raising them up, but my price will be locked in until Saturday. So yeah, I'm not sure what to think about that. JD says we have a workbench oil tanks at work. So they're underneath the workbench or they're on top of it? They must be underneath. Annan says Springfield. Was that a gnat you were trying to kill?
Yeah, they're food flies or wherever they are.
Yeah, it's probably from my pop cans over here. And then sometimes I don't drink all the last drops out of my pop cans, and before I crush them, I'll pour them in the drain. Yes, they did have higher prices, Annan says. It's the workbench that's the bulk oil container. I know when I'll put up a shop picture of it. I used to help this guy out. He has a huge shop, but mostly like construction vehicles and semis. But his bulk oil container was a big roller one, and then it had it's not in the picture, but I just wanted to show you the shop since I'm thinking of this. So it must be something like JD's got. It had a pump on it, like a gas nozzle pump, and then it had a meter on it. You know, a big engine holds like what 10 to 15 gallons, and it was probably 1540 in it, but. So let me show you the shop. This is one of the pictures. I'm standing on an excavator. I'm putting the magnet on this excavator, but we're in the shop. That's a great big, I think, Kloss combine there. This shop is massive. Let me see if I could pick out that oil, the bulk oil setup. It must be hidden, because I'm not seeing it. And he's got his own floor sweepers. There's 2 floor sweepers in here. There was another picture. Let me move this other picture out of the way. So there's the excavator I'm standing on. So there's still room on the other side of the shop. Yeah, I don't see the bulk oil setup. So put this magnet on this excavator there. Now this one's got a gen set on it, and that's a 30 horsepower motor. And then that's you know what kind of engine that is? That's a engine out of a reefer unit. Let me put the other picture back. Yeah, the shop is massive. I still have to go there once in a while. He'll bring an excavator in there for me to look at. I'm going to put me back on and get back to the comments. So, the dealers I worked at used home heating oil tanks for bulk oil when a pneumatic pump and overhead hose reel. That's what Leisure said. Oh yeah, I know what them tanks are. You'd have to put a level gauge on the outside. I suppose that wouldn't be too bad. Or they probably have a gauge in it, but you'd have to go read the gauge. If I put them up on the wall, up on the top by the ceiling, I'll have to have a like a sight tube on the side, or I'll have to have like the white ones where you can actually see the level. And then I'm dealing with a Honda CRV AC compressor, Black Death. Yeah, if she disintegrated inside, you got to clean all that out. You got to replace the condenser, and you'll have to flush the evaporator because you probably don't want to change that. JD said that's a good idea. Rob says I use Mobile One and buy it from Sam's Club. It's usually $40 for the 6 jugs or 6-quart jug, or I think they're 5. No more AC compressors. AC's gravy work unless the compressor blew up. Mobile none. I do have a customer that brings his own oil, and he brings me Mobile One. And JD says I think it's on the right with the yellow round things on it. Were you talking about my picture? I'm gonna go back to that picture. Yep, JD, you picked it out of there. That's his mobile filling station right there. Yeah, you got it, JD. I can make that bigger. Oh, I'm on the wrong picture. It's this picture. I try to put it so it'll be right in the center of your screen right there. So it's kind of dark gray with the 2 yellow hose reels. Maybe there's 2 different weights in there. Yeah. Okay, and it says he got it before I blew it up. Rob says 6 quarts total every 5 oil changes. I get 1 free. Oh, well, that's a good deal. Yeah, mobile. I can't buy Mobile One oil at my shop and sell it to the customer because it's too expensive. But maybe we're going to be running into that in the next months to come. You know what the people are going to do? They're not going to change their oil. I'm going to check on prices every day, and I'm going to adjust my price accordingly. And it says, here's the problem now with no more Denso in production, all gone. Only Chinese-made Mexican products. Yeah, I don't know if I knew that, but I think I've noticed it. Like when I go online to order something for AC compressors. So I know a lot of times if the clutch goes bad, they want you to put a whole new compressor on. I don't do that. I order a clutch on Amazon and put it on there myself. But yeah, I thought Mexican products weren't too bad. I mean, ain't Delphi in Mexico? A lot of GM stuff is made in Mexico. Yeah, I know the Chinese stuff ain't no good. I don't. If I'm working on an AC system and I have to replace the compressor and I drain the oil, you have to drain the oil out to know how much oil is in there. Or if it don't have oil in it, when you pull it off, you know you got a problem. And I hate those ones. But I did have good luck. I've done a couple. I flushed them out, and they worked. JD says we use liquid moly for your cars, like $100 for 5 liters. And it says Napa compressors are Mexican made. Yeah, I just hate to put on something that ain't OE, but a lot of the times my customers, I'm gonna put back on me, but my customers just can't afford that. So sometimes we do have to put a Chinese compressor on a car, or we have to cheap out on some other parts sometimes, because that's better for my customer than them not having a car. But I do tell them what the risks are. Like, hey, this might not last long, and hey, I'm not going to stand behind it because we got it on Amazon, and if it fails, you're going to have to buy another one. So I do tell them that if we do that. Now, if I get one from my parts houses and I put it on, I fully stand behind it. So yeah, I don't like putting anything but an OE part on if I have to stand behind it. If it's a part that could fail, I don't like that because I got to stand behind it. Yeah, I got to get my hair. I think I'm going to tell Michelle that I got to get my hair cut this next week, and I think I can get it done. It's when I rode my motorcycle today or the Harley, I did not wear a helmet, so my hair was all over the place. Like it's time to get a haircut, and you know I lost the pull, so I do have to get one. I just haven't scheduled it in yet. I'll get it. I'll get it done. It's I'm very busy. It just takes me a long time. Yeah, well, as long as you can get the OEM part too. Yeah. When I called for the radiator for that patrol car the other day, they only had one, and it was the only one that was in their system. So I got it ordered. It's going to be here tomorrow. I did tell the guy like we can get an O'Reilly's radiator for a third of the price, but I don't recommend doing that. And he agreed with me, and they're going with the good one. Of course, that probably all comes out of my tax money, anyways. Clippers, good Lord, phone, yeah. I asked Michelle if she would cut it. I can cut it too, but I just can't take the time right now. And Michelle said if she cuts it, and I might get mad at her, which I told her I wouldn't get mad. Yep. I just like putting good parts on here because I gotta stand behind it. So two of them are coming in tomorrow, like the first two comebacks that I've had in quite some time. And one was I just fixed the other day, and he wasn't happy with my repair, so I'm gonna fix it up. That's the fuel filter. And then the Buick's been out for a while. She's got a few miles on it, but the rear rotors warped, and I turned them, so I'll get her some new rotors tomorrow. Yeah, it'll grow back. Maybe not on the top. JD says we put Amazon vicious couplers on a Toyota Sienna a while ago. Still going. Toyota only sells the whole rear diff. Also, the vicious couplers in the front of the diff. Yep. Yeah. Sometimes you got to take a chance, and hopefully, if you got to take a chance, it works out for you. It usually does for me. The only one that didn't, I put a rack of pinion in a Ford Fusion, a 2011, and they're known to go out. It only lasted a year, and it was what kind was it? It was, but anyways, they warrantied it, but I didn't warranty all my labor because it was over a year. It was a Cardone, I think a Cardone, the company that remanufactures everything, and their quality control sucks. So Anna, do you work in a shop? Coupler was 300, rear diff was 3K. Yep. Yeah. So if they had to go with the dealer route, they might not be able to fix their car. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. People need their cars, and that's why we're here. And it says I had a vibration on a truck and replaced the rotors. Here it was the spindle. Geez. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you could have found that beforehand or not, but yeah, this one I think is definitely the rotors because it was good and now it's bad. Unless somebody had the wheel off and they got some junk behind the rotor. That's the only thing I can think of. I'll check it. So what was on the spindle that was causing a vibration? Oh, Michelle's got her. I was wondering what the noise was. Michelle's got her ice maker on. Yeah, so we're all caught up. Nobody's brought their car for tomorrow yet. That's why the shop is empty. We can just walk around a little bit. I was just getting a little bored. I need to walk around anyways. Yeah, so the mailman picked up his car, so that's gone. That was in here. Yeah, my water, my reclaimed water out of the air conditioner drips into here. And then it rained the other day, and I had this filled up like 2/3 full, but then I've been using it. So we could spray some. I'll just spray it back. So it's got good pressure. Well, I did have to buy more brake cleaner the other day. I'm so upset. So there's 4 boxes up there. I got to stop using brake cleaner. Oh, yeah, here's the parts for the Honda. Yeah, we got to recycle those. And then I got some oil, but I ordered more, and I'm going to order more tomorrow. But got some. I need to get some more GM oil, I guess. So I have some diesel oil here, but I need some for the gassers. Oh yeah, let me put up the picture of the Ranger, because there's the Ranger. The recycling's full again. But I used the Ranger the other day to pull the CRV radiator support out right here. So yeah, you can see my Ranger right there. I got a winch on the front, and I pulled that radiator support with the winch. Yeah, Michelle's gonna make some cocktails. The CV shaft nut was over tightened, bent the race. Okay, so you had to put a new wheel bearing in it too, or reman parts are mostly junk 60% of the time. It's junk. Yeah, I do. I have that same problem with like O'Reilly's and AutoZone and Napa. Their sensors can't use them. He is so happy and extremely impressed. Well, that's good because he loves that car. So he's picking up his mail delivery car, and he hit a deer on Tuesday, and I got it all back going for him. That's what those radiators on the hoist over there, right there. So I was just showing that earlier in the feed. I'm happy I got it done because I didn't know if I could do it, but I don't usually do like body work or frame repair. But I raced modified, so I know how to straighten stuff, and I ran a frame rack for 2 years. The mailman thought it would take at least 2 weeks to fix his car. Yeah, well, that's good. I got it. I know I texted him last night, and he said he was appreciative of me getting it in so quickly. Ranger frame straightener, LOL. Yeah, my Ranger's kind of a mutt. It's part Razor and part Ranger in all different years. And I got my Grand Am wheels on it. Yeah, you want to see the Grand Am wheels? They're off a 97 Grand Am GT. And then I bought those adapters on eBay, but the guy had to custom make them for me. He didn't have any in stock, so he said he only makes them when people order. So it took like 4 weeks to get them because he had to machine them all out. For the big 4 bolt to the little GM 5 bolt. Michelle says his car is still here for now. Not sure if you showed after the results or not. No, well, we did on the live feed. We walked over there. So if you go back to the beginning, you can see it. I didn't take any pictures when it was done. I'm not too impressed, but it's good enough for the mailman. I can always. Oh, wow. Yeah, I can't put a picture onto the OBS. So let me show you what we're using here. I can't put a picture on the OBS without the OBS going black. I don't know how to do that. So here is what I see what I'm looking at, why I'm not looking at the camera all the time. I'm looking at this, and I got your comments over here. The YouTube Studios analytics are down there on the bottom right. But if I try to add a picture to this, the whole screen goes black. Yeah, so this is exactly what I see. I see picture in picture, like a mirror reflection in the middle. Is exactly what I see. I'm looking at it now on my TV. I can show you the TV in here in a second. And then your guys' comments is covering up where the YouTube analytics are for this chat session. And it's not in high definition on my TV. So I don't know why that is. Hopefully, I must have a setting wrong in this OBS. My TV, is it clear on your phone?
It is. It's lagging on my phone.
But the comments are clear. But the
that's
picture is not perfectly clear. Well, that's probably a setting in the OBS. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not clear. You can't read nothing.
So let me show you what I was just looking at, and it's still up there. So I got a big TV up here that when I walk around the shop, I can look at the comments if I want. But you guys can see that's not in high def. Only the current comments are. Yeah, Rob, see, I can read the comment. Rob said, now we just have to hit 88 miles an hour at precisely the right time. Yeah, Back to the Future. So I have put a lot of thought into doing live feeds and videos and trying to get a good setup here in the shop. Stream is only at 360p for me. I don't know what that, Rob would know what that means, but 360p, I wonder if there's a setting in here, and I probably can't change that setting while I'm live. Common frames per second, it's grayed out, but it says, oh, I'll put scale resolution. I found the thing. I found what's wrong, but I can't change it. I'll have to change it for next time. I'll put resolution as scaled at 640 by 360. That's got to be the problem, and I'm aspect ratio to 16.9. That's the problem. So I did not see. I'm learning this stuff, and you guys are helping me. So maybe it scaled me that because Rob says that my internet is not good. Well, it is not good. There it goes to 1080. I think it's because my output resolution is scaled to 640 by 360 pixel. Yeah, but it's good enough for tonight. I'll fix that. I'll try to fix that for the next one. Right? It's good enough for tonight. Well, it's been like that. Nobody's complaining. I mean, we're just all here to talk to each other, right? Try to learn new stuff, right? So I'm gonna hit cancel on that. Hopefully the live stream stays up. So yeah, I like talking about. I got something else I can show you guys. Just 1 second. So the other day, and we talked about this on one of the live feeds, and I want to get, there's some new people in here, so I want to get some more opinions on this. But here is the cabin air filter that I changed out on a Ford Explorer the other day. And this is a Ford Motor Company cabin air filter, and it's never been changed out. It's got 146,000 miles on it. But my question is not that they didn't change it out soon enough, but I just buy the cheapest ones I can find because you're supposed to change them all the time. And if you don't change this all the time, it's bad for your blower motor resistor and your blower motor. But I'll make this bigger. Look how dirty that is. 146,000 miles on this. They didn't even know it had a cabin air filter. And whoever was doing their oil changes before didn't check it. So wiper blades, cabin air filters, I buy the cheapest ones you can because they're consumable. I call them consumables. Your car's going to consume them up. Now don't skimp out on your oil changes. Do a good oil change. So Rob says he mostly watches on his phone. I'd eat dinner off that clean plate. Yeah, right. And Annan says he's seen that at 230,000 miles. That's people gotta know that there's a filter. Some people don't know that there's a cabin air filter. Yeah, no, I get them from Napa or Raleigh's. They're always around $10. Yeah, so the last what I had this shop since 2021, but I worked in my garage for a couple of years and now I'm here. But in between that, I worked at another shop and we started out doing oil changes. That's what we did in the mornings, and then we'd do the work or the problems we found, whatever work we found on the car. If we got okay, we'd do it. But I would check the cabin air filter every oil change, and I ran Napa out of cabin air filters, and all the people in the shop started calling me Cabin Air Filter Pete. But yeah, I check them. I check them, and but if they come in here, I note when I replace their cabin air filter, so then I'll check it every like 3 oil changes. And all my customers always come back. I don't think anybody that's come here for an oil change, they always stay coming. I think I lost one customer for another reason, and another customer for a different reason. There's a couple customers that have left me, but they were for different reasons. Nope. So Ford started cabin air filters in 2015 for those. Maybe Expedition was different, but like an F-150, I think started in 2015. The Focus has a cabin air filter, and one hell of a spot needs to be. I know what you're saying there, Rob. A contortionist to get it. Yeah, I think some Chryslers are like that, and then you wreck them putting them in. Napa makes a business out of putting their name on boxes of parts manufacturers. They're the best aftermarket. What other picture can I show you guys? Oh yeah, here's my motorcycle. So I drove this in to work this morning. I only have 25 miles that I put on this since I bought it. And no, it's not new, but I fixed it. And I'm going to sell it. I'm going to flip it. JD says to Rob, yeah, all the Fords seem to do that stuff. Them in the most difficult spots. Yep. Yeah, I don't like it like the F-150s. You got to take the whole glove box thing apart. Make it more simple. Here's my shop on the outside. Took this picture a week ago or so. I just moved all the cars. There was cars here that day, but I just had moved them all so I could take this picture. Oh yeah, my house shop. Here's my house shop. Whoops, I meant to grab this other picture, get it out of there. So this is where I started. I don't know if I worked here a year in the garage a year and a half or 2 years.
Pickup in your garage, your house garage.
Yeah, we could go.
Wall to wall.
Oh yeah, we did lift up my brother's F-250. It's a big crew cab long box in here, and we put some kind of spring helpers on it. Yeah, it's. I didn't suck in any bugs because it's got a windshield on it. But my hair was going all over the place. So Rob says wife's car, drop the glove box down. It's one screw and done. My car, take the carpet up and slide the panel out and prepare yourself for bruised ribs. Yeah, some of the cabin air filters really suck. But most of the time I'll find them plugged up like that, and my customers are super happy. I don't even call them 95% of the time. If you got a light bulb out or your air filter's bad or your cabin air filter's bad, I do not call my customer. I just do it. I think I only had one time where they were complained a little bit, and then they're like, "Oh, well, we needed to do it anyways, and you didn't charge us very much." So then they were fine with it. But one time I only had a problem, and I would have just credited her the labor back, but she was fine with it. Blinker fluid, and it says I was at Harley Davidson 100th anniversary. I was working on a slender elevator, tons of bikes in the tunnels were there with the Tuttles, yeah. So that's like the Orange County chopper guys were there with Orange County chopper. Yeah, I used to watch that show all the time. I haven't been able to catch it, but I do see what's his name, the older guy has some YouTube videos now, and he was getting some criticism on his videos. I thought was inappropriate. So that's cool. You were at Harley Davidson's 100th anniversary. They got a reboot, I think. So the show Orange County Choppers, I think he's talking about. I don't have cable. I guess I got internet TV and I got antenna TV. No cable. I'm not paying for it. You seen any new Orange County Chopper?
No, I don't watch it. No. Nope.
In 2003. So that's a long time ago I watched it. Well, it couldn't have been that many years ago. Could have it? So what else can I put up here? So actuators are something you don't want to cheap out on. I always put OE actuators in because if you use a aftermarket one, it's only going to last a week. If it lasts a week. I don't know. Anybody else have any luck on actuators? Yeah, Rob said he cut the cord years ago. I did with the cell phone cable, everything. My cable, I think my cable was, or no, my internet. So I had internet that was through the cable company. And they kept raising my bill every 2 months. And I told them, if you raise it one more time, I'm coming in here and you're going to have to unhook it. And sure enough, they raised my bill and I went in there and told them to unhook it. JD, you fell off a 30-foot ladder today. Are you okay? Oh my gosh.
It's a male one auto watch here.
Yeah, 30 feet's too far. Did you have something break your fall? Are you okay? That sounds awful to me. Rob says, yeah, just check Orange County Choppers original is the reboot. Okay, JD, you're messing around with us. that was mean. No, I don't know. It's funny now. He played a joke on me. I actually got to go up on the ladder and clean out my downspout here.
When you call 911, don't tell them this match at the helicopter there.
I had a friend that fell 25 feet off a tree and he just broke his wrist, but he did have to get ambulance to the hospital when I was a kid. He was a tough kid though. First ring isn't too bad. Yeah. Probably was a little wetter. He had some oil on his boot. So what else? What else did you guys have fun going on today, or anytime? Annan, you want to tell us another story? Yeah, we just like to talk about cars, and then we can all figure them out together. I think I might have you guys might have helped me figure something out for the old Ford Taurus that's coming in tomorrow. I'm gonna have to work it in because I got a couple other cars to do. Usually always works out though. Andy, you still here? My friend was on the trailer tongue, slipped and broke three ribs last Thursday. That's not good. That's gonna hurt for a while. Good. Hopefully you didn't get a punctured lung.
What year?
What year? What year?
Tell another story. I mean, what year?
Anytime. So Annan is a former Ford mechanic. You want to? I got a story about Ford. Well, I got a couple of them. My Ford dealer slip folder is the thickest out of all my dealers. And when we first started out here, I don't know if Ford was going through some ownership changes at the dealership, but they would either forget to bring our parts or they just wouldn't bring them. So Michelle had to call them up all the time. And at first I would just send her up. I'm like, hey, Ford didn't bring my parts, and they're still up there. Will you just go get them? So she did that for like 8 times. And then finally she got mad. They messed up again. But I'm going to tell you, after she had them drive down here, she made the manager drive down here with my parts in a snowstorm. They never screwed up again, and they've been on time all the time now. But she got so mad that she would just pull into their reception bay, and it's a drive-through. She would pull into the reception bay, and she would have them bring the parts out to the car, and then they would start like doing a rundown on her car. They did that once. She might have had to get out to get them or get somebody's attention, and they put them paper floor mats in the car. Was that in the Impala, Michelle? It was in the Impala, I think. I made a run up there with the Impala. Rob says the Starship launch last week was delayed a day or two because a guy fell and died from like 8-foot fall. Not much else on the news on it. Yeah, I didn't hear about that, but I know Michelle's interested in them, whatever they're doing, and I think I called it the Apollo mission, but it's a different mission. She's interested in this new stuff they're doing. And when they were out there going around the moon on the backside or whatever, she watched that every day. Well, I think she told them about the attitude adjuster, that's for sure. Yeah, but I'm telling you, after she got mad about going up there and getting our parts all the time, and then the manager, one of the owners of the manager, he had to drive down here personally, and he apologized and everything for me, and I'm like, not a big deal. But ever since that day, they have changed. They have never screwed up since that day. Yeah, I think that's like the reception bay where you drive in. I would never do that, but Michelle, she would. But whenever, like, if we're driving by, we'll stop and pick up parts, and I just stop outside. But she's like, no, if you pull up to the store, it automatically opens. And she just pulls in, and then she realized that she could drive straight through after she picked up the parts. So she did that. She did that multiple times. She done it in the Impala, Jeep. She done it in both at Ford. Anna says most of Ford's steel was in-house. Then they went overseas. Yeah, that's probably why they rust out so much, that Chinese steel.
They went to aluminum now in the trucks.
It's the follow-up to the Artemis. Yeah, well, what this new stuff, I mean, I watched it too because Michelle's got it on the TV in here. And I thought it was pretty cool, but they're taking it too slow, too many steps, I think. But they don't want nobody to die. Yeah, she adjusted their attitude. She wasn't like too mean on the phone, but she was strict on the phone. She's like, put me to the manager. I want to talk to him. And she told him, and he did. He brought the parts up here in a snowstorm. And she told him to drive one of the brand new cars too. But we don't have too much problems. AutoZone brings me parts all the time, and they got a guy that drives by here on his way home, so I get a parts delivery at like 5:40 from AutoZone. And Katrina buzzes the dealer on her broom. She has the whip in hand and jumps out of her car cracking it. Yeah, I don't mess with Michelle. She'll kick some butt. Anna says I got a good Ford story. Well, he worked there. Uh oh. All right, you take over for a minute.
Okay, he's just picking up his car, I think. Here's the attitude adjuster.
He's probably still got the mic, huh?
Yeah, maybe. And Pete put a Velcro sticker on it so it stays in the motorhome up against the wall. So I could just pick it off and grab it and whap. That's funny. You got the mic on you, don't you?
No, it's on the camera.
Oh. Well, they must have heard me loud and clear then.
You didn't put yourself on there?
Oh, a little bit.
I got the heck out of here when she's getting too close. She's getting too close to me.
This is very close for Pete right now.
I'm really getting scared. Like some bad,
I'll bring it back in.
like some bad stuff could happen.
Now the comments are gonna roll.
The what?
The comments are gonna roll now.
A customer brought in their town car for an oil change. Okay. A customer brought their town car in for an oil change. Yeah. It's probably an Apple tacker, so he knows it's coming. That's too soft to soften the blow. Then, a customer brought in a town car for an oil change. Then the mechanic ran the car up to the too fast, and the car fell off the rack while the customer was in the waiting room. The dealership, oh my goodness. I had a hoist brake on me once, and the car fell off, but it never got damaged. It damaged the pop machine.
But he dropped off a brand new pickup off the left.
Yeah, who did? Oh, your buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my buddy, yep.
Yeah, that wasn't a good deal. I don't know how that happened. Yeah, but that, hopefully nobody got hurt. So Rob says he had a brand new 2500 HD fall off lift. They got a new, jeez.
Yeah, it happens. Shit happens.
No, it's never going to happen at my shop. I'm going to tell you that. I learned my lesson when I was young. I was like 18 when that hoist broke, and then the truck. It was a four post hoist. The truck slid off and landed on the pop machine, and it was an older Chevy, a 3/4 ton, but I don't think it got any damage. But then the boss came in with the John Deere 4670 or whatever loader tractor, and he ripped that hoist right out of the shop and took it outside. I didn't have a hoist anymore. Of course, I didn't want to work on that one anymore. It broke. I just remembered that when that hoist broke, I probably exaggerate this, but I was at the other end of the shop. I always say I was at the other end of the shop before it hit the pop machine. Phil. Hey, Phil, thanks for coming. Still have my town car. 2000 Cartier edition. 460,000 miles. Are you kidding me?
Holy shit.
You must be doing some good maintenance on that car. I mean, regular oil changes. You're keeping care of that car to get that many miles. Well, you are in Florida, so you're far enough not to get any ocean. Obviously, with that many miles, it's not rusted out, is it? That's a lot of miles. That's something to be proud of.
Car up here won't last so long.
I've seen a lot of cars fall, mainly older square body Chevys. 96 with the frame rot. Yeah, they don't last that long up here. I do have some cars that have 300,000 on them, but they're getting right to the end of their life. Yeah, nice to see you, Phil. Hope you're having a good day. How warm is it there in Florida? Rust eats, so Rob says Rust eats cars before mileage with routine maintenance. Yeah, I guess it probably depends where you live. No way, original motor and tranny. Yeah, you're keeping good care of that one.
Holy shit.
That's some pretty good mileage on her. You daily drive that thing? .6. Yeah, that's what my F-150 has, and it's only a 2-valve, so them engines are pretty good. My truck has got 226,000 miles on it. 4.6. It's a 2008. What year? Yours was a 2000, so that engine's probably even better. And JD says I had a lift brake on me, had a 3508. Yeah, they're always a big truck on there. Was letting the truck deck down, and the lift cylinder on the left side broke. Truck fell from about 3 feet to the ground, scared the crap out of me. So that must have been a 2-post lift, but did the oh yeah, you're letting it down so the safeties aren't engaged. And did the truck get hurt? Hopefully you didn't get hurt. I mean, you're still here. 78 degrees in Florida. That's not too bad.
Maybe more.
I'm gonna see what it is right now. We're 76 degrees right now. So I can move to Florida. It's just like Florida. Rob says a 60 here feels great. Windows open. Yeah,
Where's Rob from?
Pennsylvania. No, it just bounced around. That's kind of what happened to mine. It slid off. The hoist got kind of high centered on the bridge. But yours must have been a 50 degrees. Whoa, that's a little bit colder, but still, I would do that too. Always have the windows open and the fan on. Cool the house down for the next day because I didn't have air conditioning in the house. I just had a window one, and I didn't want to even turn that on. But here I am with my shop, but it's got central air, and I don't think it cost me very much money, and the air conditioner's running right now. But we got it it's 76 degrees in here right now. So Phil says about his car with 480,000 miles on it. No, sitting in the garage, had to drive the thing when I was getting divorced and got my clock clean for the divorce. So that sucks. I bought a new Silverado town car. He bought a new Silverado. His town car's been sitting for a year. How do you like your Silverado? Of course, JD is a mobile mechanic, right, JD? And you probably keep that thing going pretty good. So he does, I'm sure he does perfect, excellent regular maintenance on his cars. That's why that thing's got 480,000 miles on it. 460,000. Cartier edition, 2000 Cartier edition. That I don't know for sure, but that's pretty awesome. So JD is in Nova Scotia, Canada. It's 46 degrees Fahrenheit right now. Yeah, that's a little cold. All the miles came from when I was doing my mobile diagnostic business in Ohio. That's a lot of miles. Then I was driving from Ohio to Florida and Ohio a ton before I moved there. What?
Look what you left.
I've been looking for that.
I ain't giving you shit.
Well,
You want a box for it?
I got a new
Come on,
one.
let's box.
I got a new one right
Yep,
here.
I got the old one.
Where did you find it?
Well, Mr. Mailman found it on top of his battery underneath his hood.
I told you that's where I lost it. Yeah,
You want to box them first? Or
I
can
lost my
box them?
pocket knife and I had to get a new one, but I want my old one back, and it rode the car.
Well, they look exactly the same.
They're exactly the same.
I lost the 7/8.
I bought them in bulk
Oh yeah, he
I'm
made me look
glad.
for that thing for a freaking week.
because this knife, you see the charades in there? You can strip wires with this knife. So it's always in my
Like, he just
pocket,
made his day.
and I can strip wires with the little charaded part. And it fits in my pocket. It's so small. It's just, this is one of the tools I have
That's
on
the
me.
same one that how we met, isn't it?
No, that's my pocket clip for my flashlight.
Oh, that's right. You'll have to tell him that story.
Yeah, sometime. And it says, I love working on town cars. We could do a motor in and out in 3 hours. That's pretty good.
Oh, nerds.
I don't think I could do that. I don't think I've ever had to take a 4.6 or a 5.4 out.
Not really. Good job.
Rob says we had a customer hit 500K on a Trailblazer. No way. Drove so much like an oil change every 2 weeks. Well, maybe it leaked it all out. But the Trailblazers will rust out on the back of trailing arm. It'll rust off, but in Pennsylvania, maybe you don't have that much rust. Tinted windows, limo black, Kragers, that champagne color, the vinyl top. Is that on the Lincoln Town Car you're talking about, Phil? Rob says, was always in my pocket until I left it on the mailman's. Yeah, it was. But I knew I left it there, but I didn't want to bother him, and I figured it would have fell off, but I guess it didn't. I'm glad he found it for me because I was missing that.
What was he looking at though?
I don't know. He was probably checking his oil.
Probably. Maybe he's good at that.
I can't remember what I did. Why I had his headlight bulb. So he had a new headlight bulb in a package, and I used my knife to cut open the package. And then I put the bulb in, but I set my knife down on the radiator support. It's funny it made it that long. Annan lives in Pittsburgh. What state is Pittsburgh in?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. So we got two. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Right? I think I'm right.
What are these? What are these?
Nerds over a gummy thing. Or,
Michelle brought us something. She must have went shopping. Phil says late to the live chat, was smoking a little bit. You mean you're smoking some meat? Oh, that's right. I know what you're talking about. That's okay, Phil. Hopefully business is going good for you. Still. You still do the mobile mechanic, right? Yeah, Michelle, Phil's here. He's got a Lincoln Town, or yeah, wouldn't that be a Lincoln Town Car with 460,000 miles?
That's a lot of miles.
So if you ever come out again, Ann, and I'm probably not going to remember where you're from. It takes me like 3 times, but I'm starting to learn to write it down so I remember when you come back out again. Ask Rob. It took me 3 times. I asked him 3 times, finally learned.
4.6.
A 4.6 is a Ford engine. It's like the 5.4, smaller version of a 5.4, and then there's a couple different versions. There's a 3-valve, 2-valve, and the 3-valve 5.4s are the ones with the sparkle problem. They like to seize in there and break off. Yeah, no, I just didn't want to say nothing, but yeah, I remember now. Booked out for 2 months. Oh, you're booked out more than me. That's good. So, do you stay on schedule, Phil? Mainly diag scopes and scanners. Yeah, I want to get a new scanner. Still, I the only one I can afford right now maybe the Mucar, and I wanted to get it because of the AI. But now today when I was using my X tool, I found out that it has AI on it. So maybe they're the same kind of scanner. My X tool still gets updates. I had 137 updates today because I didn't turn it on very much. Yeah, Michelle's got 330,000 on her Expedition, and it just needs a manifold gasket or it's got a cracked manifold. We got to get that fixed. Leisure likes Fords. Leisure's a Ford guy. Ford tough. I got to go find Leisure's comment the other day. It was pretty good. He always has a good comment. So I'm gonna go back. So I'm looking for Leisure's comment. Although the one he did 2 days ago is pretty good, but it's not the one I'm thinking of. Just trying to find it. It's some here. It's somewhere. Well, probably the one I'm thinking about is probably. Oh, here it is. So I can't. Well, we were working on a 2006 Chevy Silverado, and I think this was the truck driver, and he wants to take this truck across the country because he was an over-road truck driver, and he just wants to go back and visit people. He's retired now. So, anyways, I did a video on it, whatever the repair was that day. And then Leisure says, for those who wish to see the USA and their Chevrolet in a reliable way, it's best to contact an AAA and load said Chevrolet on the back of a trustworthy F550. So yeah, Leisure says they'll just your Chevy will break down and then you'll be on the back of a flatbed and then you'll just be able to go across and see the USA on the back of a flatbed F550. I just thought that was pretty funny. So Phil says had a 96 Mercury Tracer back in the day. Speedometer got stuck at 45 miles an hour and didn't count up. It didn't count up the miles, I think is what he means. Just need a North Star motor to hit 500K and I'd be shocked. Yeah, I don't think they last that long. Back in the day, I rebuilt a lot of them. I would have 2 great big, all my benches. I would take everything apart, put it on the benches, rebuild it. If it needed machine work, we'd send that out. Done quite a few of them. Cadillacs you had to drop the whole motor and the whole front cradle out with the motor and transmission still attached to it. And I just set that cradle on some jack stands and then picked up the car on the hoist. Yeah, the starter is in a ridiculous place on them North Stars. I don't even like North Stars. If one came here, I'd probably tell them to go somewhere else. No, I wouldn't do that. Now, Phil says he drives whatever. That's when all these manufacturers were good in the 90s, pre-Obama. Well, Obama got rid of some good cars with some cash for clunkers. I don't think that was a good thing. Only reason the Trailblazer lasted that long was due to the Isuzu engine. Michelle had an 88 Ford Tempo, was her first car, manual, put tons of miles on it. My export sugar in the oil tank. I don't know what an oil tank is. You mean the oil in the engine? And then it started on fire on the highway. I was so mad. Okay. She's had some weird stuff happen to her. Let's see what car. So my Grand Am here, I'll show you. I had 331,000 miles on it, and then the axle rusted off, or the rear axle rusted off. But I have a picture of it. Well, that's my Grand Am. Where's the? Well, it's not this picture. That's a different Grand Am. Where is the? Yeah, if anybody knows where I could get one of these Grand Ams, it's got to be like, it's got to have the quad 4. Automatic. I'll take an Olds Calais too. I think I say that in the last 3 my last 3 live feeds. But I really want one of them cars back. And I cannot find my other Grand Am. We just had it up. I do think I had a North Star in the shop. I can't remember when. It was quite a while ago, but this shop. All right, I got to find that other car. So far I can't find it. Here it is. So this car here, before I took it to the junkyard, it had 331,000 miles on it, but it rusted out. The rust got to it. And that's my Corvette. I sold that. Phil says, my buddy bought some cheap frame patches on Amazon for the 06 Wrangler. Yeah, you were telling us about that. They fit like crap. Well, the ones I bought, yeah, the Dorman ones, they fit like crap too. The brackets for the upper trailing arms are 3/4 off. I think it needs 3/4 of an inch. Well, adjusted trailing arms, and it is Z. And it says about X-Tool 8 with the X-Tool XV100 video scope. Awesome tool. The scope connected to the X-Tool shows clear picture. And the XV100 even has a light on the end of it to look at the piston. So he's talking about a borescope. So that's cool. Can it bend backwards on itself? Articulate? Phil, is that with the Multi-Tech fuel injectors that always fail? Leisure said, try to find an end body will. So that's an end body? Yeah, not this Grand Am, but the other one. I'm just going to move that picture up so they're side by side, because I always get. I'm going to put the Grand Am pictures all together. Now I lost the other one. There's like 100 pictures on here. Great. Here, we'll put this one up. This was a 91 Grand Am with a quad 4. And I put a turbo on there off a 2.2 Chrysler, the 2.2. And it did work. I even had a fuel injector that came on at certain amount of throttle and shot fuel into the engine. So an extra fuel injector. Because I couldn't hack the ECM, or I didn't hack the ECM on this one. last North Star we had was a couple of weeks ago. It was a hearse. So I wonder if that was low mileage on that one. Kind of looks like a Cougar, the body style. Still trying to find my 67 Skylark. Yeah, I think we all want a car back from when we were younger. This is what I want back. Miss this car. Sold that too. JD says, I think all Grand Ams were end body, well, front wheel drive. Well, I didn't know that, so that's cool. So I probably need to know that. I don't know if I need to know that, but I want to know that. Well, here's something. So when I had that Corvette, I made these decals, and I sold enough of these. I think I sold these decals for $5 a piece. I sold enough of these decals to pay for that Corvette. So just an interesting story. And I still have my vinyl cutter. I just don't do it for people anymore. So there's the Corvette. So I made enough of them decals to pay for that Corvette. And then this Grand Am that had 330 some thousand miles on it. What else can I put up here? Here's my solar bike. I built that little bike. All electric. JD says the car I want back is my 1987 VW GTI 16 valve. 16V anyways. Had a Recaro seats and was as fast as AF. Phil says the Ranger bodywork is underway. I'll be retired driving my brand new 04 Ranger Edge. I bought brand new. Time warp in the making, yeah. Hand crank windows, rubber floor mats, and a 5-speed. Looks like I had a headlight out. What are you talking about? I have a headlight out. What are you talking about? Where's the headlight out? I probably did. Wish I had my 83 Celica Supra. So is that one of those fast ones that they always talk about? Supras are the fast, they're really fast, right? Since we're talking about cars, I'm putting it up on some more cars. Here's Michelle's Jeep. Which picture should I put on? This one. I did all the graphics on this too. I did the 3 on the hood there, on the side, underneath the door handles, on the top by the luggage rack there. I made all those. So Anna says, yes, that's got to be the fast one. Yeah, I built that at work after I got off work when I worked at the machine or the starting unit place where we built starting units, these things. Get up to 85 miles an hour. I think, yeah, 88. That's what Rob was saying. 88 miles an hour. You warp the Jeep with your vinyl. You wrap the Jeep with your vinyl color, and it looks nice. I get good comments all. Yeah, that's because I did it backwards. So it's not like the Trailhawk. The Trailhawk sticker is in the middle, but I'm like, I can't copy that because I don't want to. So I did them on the sides edges of the hood. Sometimes I think it looks a little weird, but no, I decaled all this. This was just all orange, and I painted the wheels. I painted the grill. Put the little tube bumper in the front because I didn't have a license plate holder. In Minnesota, you got to have a front license plate. The MK4 Supra is the famous one, cost because of Fast and Furious. Well, I just know they're super fast. Celicas and Supras are fast cars. Yep. Where's my Chevy van?
That's a fast car.
I daily drive my van now. I don't think I did drive it today. Oh, it's in here somewhere. I gotta do better with my pictures and getting them up there in time. Well, here's the van with the race car. So that van, but I have a different picture of it. I know where it is. It's in the, I don't know. Best believe it, when I retire, I'm not even going to be putting my own air in my tire or check my own oil. Wrap this crap career up to do something I actually like when I retire. So what are you going to do? I like working on cars.
You're not gonna want to when you retire, though.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna retire in the RV. We'll go to Florida. We'll come and see you, Phil. No, I hate the tool trucks. I did buy some Matco tools the other day, and I do have a couple Icon tools. I'll show you here in a second.
Because that's going to use Harbor Freight tools. Icon is Harbor Freight.
Yeah, no, I got my tire inflators are from Harbor Freight, and they're better than the ones on the tool truck. Yeah, let's go look at some of that stuff. I'll just put me back on because I can't find the other pictures. Let's go look at some of my Harbor Freight tools. I probably got a lot of. I get the lights, these lights up here. I haven't used these red ones very much. I'm trying to use all these up because I'm going to switch to these red ones. And then I got the pliers. I got the Icon pliers, the Snap-on clone. This works really good, and I've compared it to the Snap-on, and it's exactly like it. I don't have a Snap-on one though, not of this style. I don't know what else I have from Harbor Freight, but oh yeah, my tire inflator. So it's a Merlin, not a Milton. But if you don't have to turn it on, you just put this in onto the tire and it automatically turns on. It's really accurate. And this one is 5 years old, and the battery, let's see what the battery's still full. And I got a couple of these. And I think they're like, it's under $30. It hasn't wore out. It's slower on letting the air out with this button than the good ones. I don't know if there's any Harbor Freight tools over here. Oh, you can't see well. There's no Harbor Freight tools in here. So I don't have very many Harbor Freight tools. What? No, they still have Harbor Freight. Well, no, I bought most of my tools years ago. I've been working on cars for 35 years. So, and then when I recently got back into it, I didn't have a lot of metric tools. We could go check out over here. I do got some Tecton wrenches up there. And then some Vim. These Vim sockets are really cool. You can put an extension in these flex heads. I've been buying Power Torque from O'Reilly's. So this little ratchet here, pretty sweet. And you can put an extension on this one too, on the end. Really nice ratchet. It's really cheap too. And then this is my favorite Power Torque ratchet. It's a thin. And I like ratchets that don't have the rubber handles because they get disintegrated. And then I bought these Matco Chinese clip tools the other day because they weren't too bad. But I don't think I got any other.
Colored socks. There must be hard to break.
No, they're Menards. I got these sockets at Menards. Really cheap, like $5 or something. Michelle will know. I get this. Is this a Power Torque? No, this is a Titan. This is a really nice ratchet I got out at O'Reilly's. Titan has some pretty good tools too. And triple squares, Titan. I'm gonna switch this camera the other way. There we go. Now I can see what I'm look. Now we can see it. And I made this bit holder the other day. Yeah, we're looking for Harbor Freight tools. I just can't think of any other Harbor Freight tools. I like the Craftsman screwdrivers. I like these Pratt Reed ones. I do have this Mac screwdriver is really good. I like Mac tools. I got some Mac tools. We're gonna make this little bench into my wiring bench or thing for anything wiring, but I ain't got all my wiring stuff in here yet. I picked that up at a yard sale for $5. This cart, I mean. My mobile bag is down there. My soldering iron. Yeah, I got one that can be mobile. It can be plugged in or plugged into a battery. So I soldered the wires on the Chevy Cruze the other day. I don't normally solder the wires, but this time I did. Yeah, that inflator's good, and it's lasted. I use it multiple times a day. On oil change days, sometimes we get 6 oil changes in. All the time. And I have 2 of them, one for each side of the shop. Yeah, Matco. Yeah, he's the only truck that stops here, so I do buy just what I need to keep them stopping, just in case there's something an emergency that I need a tool. And there was the other day for the Volkswagen front axle bolt, them 12 pointed bolts that really stick in there. I needed a heavyweight socket, so I did get one of those off the Matco truck. Icon G2 ratchets are actually good. Take them apart and lube them up. They're smooth. Yeah, they're just a little more expensive than I would like to pay for a Harbor Freight, and they're chrome wrenches too. Just a little bit more than I want to pay. JD says the hose clamp pliers I bought from Mac for $80. Found on Temu for, yeah, I hate that. The tool trucks got them jacked up so high. Although we did buy a Matco a few days ago just to be nice. Yep, that's what I was just saying. Sorry, but I'm not. Phil says sorry, but I'm not paying the 4 times amount for a tool. Yeah, I agree, but I just want the Matco guy to stop. He's the only one that stops. So I just try to some weeks I don't buy anything, but I just try to just buy a little bit from him. And I'm running out of stuff to buy from him because I bought all the cheaper stuff that I could buy. But I seen those. I don't have the long clip tool, so he said he only has it in a set. So I just bought the set, and I used that set a couple times now. And get an inflator. It's good. I just gave you my review. It's been in here 5 years, maybe 6, because I had it at my garage. Mac and Matco are the selling of a lot of overseas tools at Made in the USA prices. Yeah, I told them, I said, because that clip tool set is Chinese. You know, a couple cool ratchets. Get those at O'Reilly's. Vim is expensive overseas tools. They have a few, but I got that set and the rail for pretty cheap, and I use them all the time, like all the time. Don't know where I'd get them warranted. I probably have to send them in. When I worked at the GMC dealership, they had to drop off a lot from the tractor trailers offload, and I had to get vehicles in there driven Typhoon, Cyclones, Firehawks. I wanted a Firehawk. Back to the dealership. Phil, get you a Koken ratchet better than the Snap-on and Japanese made. Yeah, that's what Jeffro says on his live feeds. He's got some Koken ones, or maybe that's Jeff. Did you see the Astro Tools set SMA, a special edition area? Yeah, but I didn't see him using that lately. I wonder if it's broken. He was struggling getting the wheel bearing out the other day. It didn't look like, I can't remember. He's got a special name he calls that thing, or they did, because they made it special for him. And you can buy it now, I guess. The Firehawk had a 1.2 upshift that snapped your neck. Yeah, I wanted one of those cars back in the day. It's hard to find one now. Even with Craftsman ratchets were USA made, they weren't that great. Horrible back. Yeah, I know, but they were the ones I could afford, and if I broke it, I could go to Sears and get it warranted. I try not to use my Craftsman ratchets now because they're the ones that got me started. My Craftsman professional ratchet is pretty smooth. Yeah, I like Craftsman ratchets. If I see one at a yard sale, I'll buy it. I just bought one the other day, a 1/2 inch. The Typhoons were all-wheel drive, leather, sweet rides. Yeah, I kind of vaguely remember the Typhoon. Triple square bits, yep. We're all the tool junkies. Oh, I got a lot of wrenches, I'll tell you that. My oldest son used to drive brand new cars back and forth from the dealerships. Not sure what all he's gotten to drive, but exciting. Yeah, so that's, if you're a young kid, you get to work at a dealership, they make you drive the cars around the lot. Not drive them around the lot, but move them when they need to be moved, and bring them in and wash them, and maybe deliver them and stuff like that. Mac, you have to be careful. There are a lot of ratchets, flyers saying assembled in the USA with globally sourced parts. So they assemble them at the Mac plant, but all the parts are, yeah, I noticed that with my sockets. They were Chinese. Big Nasty, Big Nasty, that's the SMA Eric O Astro Tools air hammer they made for him. I would like to challenge his air hammer against mine. This was a new video. All right, man, I got some stuff to do. Well, thanks for coming, Phil. Glad you're busy. Keep at her. You're out a long ways. That's awesome. I hope you're staying on schedule. Yeah, I wanna challenge. I want to challenge Eric O with my long barrel Mac. Maybe I should just get the Astro Tools. But this baby could shear rivets right off. And she could twist wheel bearings right out of there. This thing has never failed me. And I've had it for so many years, it's never gone bad. It's a Mac, and I'm just trying to see if it says USA. I'll never get this cover off. It's formed on there. But it's kind of dirty under there. And then I bought the Mac Tools coupler too, and that's never failed. The snap rings bent all the crap. Now my hands are dirty. Didn't clean my tools good enough. Yeah, that long barrel Mac, she's got power. I got metal cutting bits for like cutting metal, plate metal. What else do I use? Oh, I use it to. I got a long punch bit. I'll use that to knock the fan clutch loose. It's easier than holding that, trying to hold the pulley and then use a wrench on there, and then you'll scrape your knuckles. I just hit her with my long bit, and you just got to turn it the right way. Some of them are reverse thread. Yeah, it's nice to Phil made it. Well, nice all you guys made it. Leisure says, or wait, surprised Milwaukee hasn't made an electric version yet.
That's funny.
Well, they will.
It's coming.
They're doing, but I can't afford those yet either. I still use my old 19.2 volt Craftsman, and I got a couple 20 volt ones. But I need to switch to the Milwaukee stuff. I really do. Leisure says I have a short barrel, no name air hammer, along with an old Black & Decker. Yeah, I used to have an older one. I don't know what happened to it. I think after I got this one, I probably gave it away.
I bet Black & Decker wins that one. The old ones always win.
I'll take Japan made over anything right now. Yeah, Japan does do some good job with their tools. So I watch a lot of stuff on Jeff Rose Garage and Fab. He has a live feed every Sunday night. Let's go check it out. Well, just wait. I want to make sure nothing's pulled up on my screen that you guys can't see. So I'm going to put it right on Jeff Rose. All right, let's look at Jeff Rose Garage and Fab. So every Sunday night, unless he's doing something, he'll have a live feed. And he does videos too, but he does live feeds, and he likes to do some tool reviews. So yeah, I like to go on his live feeds, and Leisure's there, Rob's there. And then the other guy that does he does videos every day. Jeff's Garage Adventures. Every day he does a tool review. So maybe some of the tools I'm talking about, like the Koken, maybe this guy, Jeff's Garage Adventures, he probably did a review on it, and then he gives stuff away, I think, once every week or every 2 weeks. You just got to comment on this video and be subscribed. So yeah, Jeff's a really nice guy too. I try to watch as many of his videos as I can, and I especially want to comment on the ones when you're signing up to get a tool, because he gives away some good tools. All right, we'll go back. So yeah, if you're interested in tools, those two guys. Tomorrow's giveaway day, so probably I did win one on Jeff's Garage Adventures. It was the red pliers, I bought the red pliers because he showed me, but it was the extension set in the orange drawer over there. The wobble extension, or they got the cut in on them so the socket just tips a little bit. Yeah, I've just been pretty busy. I got to catch up on Jeff's video. I better do that tonight so I can get into drawing. Maybe it's too late. Doesn't matter. I just I like going to his watching his videos, and he does an honest tool review on the tools, so that's great. Like if the tool's junk, he's going to tell you, or if you see something about it that you don't like, he's doing the review for you. Yep. We're gonna cut her down here in a few minutes. I'm gonna sign off to. Yeah, Jeff Rose, he's such a nice guy, and he does the live feeds to 6:30 Central Time Sunday nights. You guys will have to check it out, and you'll see me there, and Leisure, and Rob. Michelle joins in once in a while. And Jeffro said he wants to start giving away tools too again. He needs to pick up his viewer content on his lives, and he will start giving away tools again. What's every Friday? Oh, the giveaways? Yep, we all got to work in the morning. So it's nice of you guys all to come to my live feed. I appreciate it. And I hope you guys all have a good night and a good week, or the rest of the week and next week if you don't catch me again, or if I don't catch you. Leisure says if I'm awake. So yeah, I think we had a nice little chat tonight and nice little live stream. But I'm gonna sign her off, and I'll thank all you guys for coming, and glad you guys are here, and I'm glad I was here. And I had a good time. So we'll see you next time. So next time we'll be on next Tuesday. We'll do it in the portrait style, and we'll try not to get a copyright violation. I'm not playing the radio anymore. Good night, Leisure. Night all.